Body activation. Before you begin, take a moment to scan your body and sense what it's like on the inside. This set helps to wake up and relax your body, which increases blood circulation, improves chi flow, and the latest brain research on mindfulness shows that it starts in the body. Meaning, the more you can sense your body, the quieter is your mental activity. As we begin, you can either brush along the skin or vigorously pat. So starting on the inside of the left arm, moving down, then up the outside, then down the side body, switching sides, down the inside of the right, up the outside of the right, down the right side body, down to the left leg, then up, down the outside, up the inside of the right leg, the groin, hips, low back, front of the abdomen, chest, neck, face, head, even your ears. Great. Now allow your body to shake, loosening further stuckness, releasing anything that need be, and more evenly distributing the aliveness all throughout your body. Allowing the shaking to slow, allowing your body to still. Relax, stand, and sense. Notice what is different than a few minutes ago when you started. Next, opening up the joints, start by shifting your weight over onto your left leg, hinging back at the hip, and sinking your weight down for stability and grounding. Then lift your right leg off the ground for ankle circles. Now reverse to counterclockwise. Then flexing the foot and releasing the foot as if you're grabbing something. Shifting weight over onto the right, hinging back at the hip, sinking all the way down into the ground on the right side. Rotating the left ankle to the outside. Again, flexing and releasing. Bringing your feet together, hands on your knees for knee circles. Now reverse direction. And feet returning to shoulder width for hip circles. It's easy to go unconscious and let your mind wander as you do these. But let's see if you can direct your attention inside your hips and feel each part of the movement from the inside. Okay, other way in reverse. As we prepare to open the right hip, shift your weight over to the left and sink down into the ground. Now lift your right hip, and you're going to rotate it to the outside. Reverse directions, now to the inside. We sit so much in our culture. It's really important to continue to move our bodies in dynamic patterns and especially keep our hips open. Over onto the right, hinging back into the right hip, sinking down into the right leg, and now lift your left hip up. Okay, now the other direction. Next is thoracic rotations. You can either do helicopter arms or tap on your low back and shoulder as you rotate one side to the next, keeping your arms loose and relaxed. Moving up to shoulder rotations. In reverse, now backwards. Arms out in front for wrist circles now. Rotating outwards to start. Wrist, hand, and fingers all dynamically opening and closing in one integrated circular wave. You know, with all that texting many of us do in the digital age, it's easy to store tension in our hands and fingers. So little simple, quick warm-ups like these go a long way to help keeping our hands relaxed and circulating with aliveness. Okay, lowering your arms down slightly, making the so-so motion. Now flapping your wrists up and down. Neck circles. You may want to be extra gentle with this one, or skip it altogether if you've had previous neck issues until you talk to your doctor or physical therapist. Relax, stand, sense. Again, notice what's different than 5 minutes ago before we started. Next, we're going to do an energizing set. Now that we've activated the body and opened the joints, start by rubbing your hands vigorously together, generating heat. Now pause and separate your hands a little bit, allowing your palms to sense the magnetic aliveness between them. For this next exercise, imagine you're holding a ball filled with energy, and as you rotate up and to the side, keep sensing the ball of aliveness between your hands. Then as you rotate to the other side, you're going to exhale through your nose, allowing your hands and arms to be loose. Focus on the exhale as you come up on each side, and like a vacuum, air will naturally get sucked in the transition for the inhale. Note that we'll be doing each of the forms in the energizing set for about a minute. Okay, the last couple rotations, allowing your arms to naturally slow, cascading down, resting just below the navel, resting stance. Relax, stand, and sense. For the next one, make an open triangle between your hands, and you can imagine that you're holding up a platter above your head. You'll be doing the same exhale focused breathing sequence as you did on the previous one. Note on this one, don't kink your neck back to look up. Rather, look up only with your eyes while your head stays more straight ahead. Some of you may have tension or feel a stretch in your forearms as you try to keep your wrists bent and balance the tray above your head. Common mistake in this one is to point the hand straight up. As much as you can, try to bend your wrists for this one. Okay, last couple rotations. Hands cascading down to navel. Relax, stand, and sense. Next, we'll be making a fist in the form of a tiger's claw. This is a powerful one. So widen your legs into horse stance, like you're riding a really wide horse, and inhaling as you rise. Gathering from the earth, then exhaling as you press out with power. Inhale, gathering back into your core, then sitting back in your squat, driving the power back and down through your legs, rooting deep into the earth. Gather as you inhale and rise, then pressing out. Really owning your space on this one, using your breath to generate even more power and energy. We want you to be the most powerful, vital, alive you can be, and then use that for good, to contribute your gifts while inspiring and empowering others. Gather, press, gather, root. Gather, press, gather, root. Using it for good. Okay, last one. Gather and bring it into your core. Legs moving back into shoulder width. Relax, stand, and sense. Next one's a heart opener. As you inhale, your hands raise to heart center, palms facing up. Then as you exhale, your arms open wide, chest expanding, heart open, head lowering down on the receiving and looking up and out on the outgoing. Deeply receiving, generously giving, taking it in and giving it back. Inhale, exhale, life flowing in and out through you. Last one. Now resting stance. Relax, stand, and sense. Last one for this set. We'll be working with the central channel that runs from the base of your pelvis up to the top of your crown, just in front of your spine. It's one of the biggest channels in your system, and when it's open, it's like a hollow tube or cylinder that conducts immense amounts of life force. Slightly squatting down, gathering up from the earth. Do the best you can to imagine it until you actually feel it. But the intention is to bring the aliveness up from the ground, up through your central channel, then at the top to gather more from above and bring that back down through that same central tube, opening and filling. Opening your central channel can both help unlock some of your most extraordinary gifts and more expansive states of awareness. And once again, returning to resting stance. Taking a moment to notice what the moment feels like now, inside and out, until they blur into one unified feel of aliveness. Okay, now that your body pathways are more prepared, next we're going to move into a stillness set where some of the most powerful cultivation happens. The difference is most people walk around mostly in their heads with very little sensing of their body and limited openness of their channels. So, commonly, you're standing in line somewhere, tense and fidgety, without much happening. However, here, we've just taken a few minutes to activate, open, and energize your body. So now when you're standing still with your channels more open, now you're primed and ready to cultivate life force. For the first one, start with feet shoulder width apart. And you don't want to lean forward and put pressure on your knees. You actually want to hinge back at the hips and sit back and down into the stance. Lean forward and back, then side to side, until you find the sweet spot where it is the most effortless to stand upright, yet being deeply rooted down below simultaneously. Next, raising your hands out in front, as if you were wrapping them around a tree, feeling as though your hands were suspended in space, effortlessly floating without any tension in your neck or upper shoulders. Same thing as before with focusing your attention. But now, you may also choose to imagine a semi-permeable membrane that lives 2 to 3 feet off your body. The Chinese call this the Wei Qi field. It's like a healthy boundary between you and the outer world that allows you to relax and feel safe inside, provides a healthy degree of protection from the outside world, and also, especially important for the context of what we're doing here, it allows the energy you cultivate to stay inside your field rather than being drained or leaking out. Okay, back to resting stance. Arms up and out, shoulders and elbows at 90 degrees. This is another powerful one. It can be difficult at first for some. Make sure you relax your hands, arms, and shoulders. If you start to notice burning and fatigue in your shoulders, it may just be the channels in your arms trying to open more. So keep relaxing and breathing. Also, you can start with just a couple minutes and work your way up. But remember, we're cultivating our capacity with open channels to cultivate energy. Grounded, open, empowered, and aligned. Last one in this cultivation set. Your hands are down by your side like a Texas gunslinger, ready to draw. Middle fingers lightly touching your thighs at 45 degrees, with a little space under your armpits, as if you're holding a ball in there, which has your elbows bow out just slightly. And play with tucking your chin slightly and feeling as though a golden thread coming out of your crown was pulling your head upward and the back of your neck a little straighter. No matter what, don't get rigid and try too hard to get this right. We're riding the line between the form and relaxation, so hold both simultaneously. So as you play with all these little subtle shifts, find what works for your body and notice what allows the flow and cultivation of the most potent aliveness. You can think of this as a standing meditation, only you're also cultivating lots of energy. So if your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back. You may choose to focus on scanning your body from head to toe, on your heart, on the breath in your abdomen, on specific body areas, or on the microcosmic orbit. All are okay. Just choose something to focus on, because the more your mind wanders, the more energy gets dissipated and the less you actually cultivate in the practice. Now that doesn't mean try to be perfect. Just practice focusing while you cultivate. Back to resting. relax, stand, and sense. What do you notice now? Thank you for your dedication to practice and awakening your greater potential. May that continue to deepen and expand for the rest of your life. And may all that was cultivated be of great benefit in the healing, development, awakening, and thriving of you and all of life.